Hello. We're continuing on with the Dollar Tree series, and this time we're going to talk about Be Pure and their Revitalizing makeup sticks. Their blush, bronzer, and highlighter that looks a lot like another brand. And we're going to get right into this one. So I tested the Be Pure Revitalizing makeup sticks from Dollar Tree. And it's no secret that last year I purchased a lot of Dollar Tree makeup. If you follow me on social media, I actually just got some more yesterday. I got a whole line, whole collection of the brand new Ioni, and it has some really interesting stuff like an eyeshadow primer and things that I'm ready to rip apart and tear to shreds. But anyway, for whatever reason, the Be Pure makeup sticks were the ones that I were the most hesitant to purchase. I think it was the packaging that really kind of threw me off. So you really didn't have a good indication of what the color was going to be. And the packaging itself did look kind of cheap, kind of shoddy. So I didn't have a whole lot of confidence. And I ended up seeing a Reddit post where somebody was talking about them and they shared a little bit. And I was asking like what we think about the formula and the color, and the lady said she thought it was pretty good. So anyway, it convinced me to go ahead and give them a try. Like, it's just makeup. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's no reason to be worried about it, right? So I went for it. And yes, the plastic packaging that it's in kind of hints at the shade. That's not always reliable, and it wasn't reliable here. So it was really that Reddit post that kind of got me over the edge. So ultimately, they looked fine, but not like amazing, but not bad. So I ended up getting one bronzer, two blush, two highlighters. There's probably another bronzer shade, and I want to say the name of it was off-putting to me, that it sounded like it might not work for my skin tone. Maybe if I come across it again, I'll give it a try since I liked these so well, and they all ended up working for my skin tone. We'll have to see. All these sticks, they kind of come in and out of Dollar Tree, but they seem to come back. Not all of their stuff comes back, but these do. So these are rectangular cream sticks, and I'm fairly certain I included a photo here below if you're reading the Substack that they're trying to dupe Pixi, like inspired by Pixi. But it's at least similar kind of feel, for sure. So, overall formula and first impressions, there's a lot of things that I want to say that apply to all of the sticks. So, the formula doesn't fully set. It does stay tacky throughout the day. When it comes to the end of the day, they are going to fade a little bit. It's nothing alarming. It doesn't get patchy. It's fine. Like, I use these on repeat. It didn't bother me, okay? I apply these sticks directly to my face. I've never found that they are lifting my base makeup underneath. If that's a problem for you, you can always just swipe a brush over them and apply it to your face. That's fine. They layer well with everything. I was wearing this stuff with tinted SPF or foundation, a full look, like liquids, creams. It all works good there. I don't know if I'd apply them over a powder base. Probably not, because they're a little bit on the oily side and not in a bad way. But if you would, I'd probably just go with a brush in that case. The formula is very soft, creamy, blendable. Any tool that you want to use is going to work for you. So I really like them, of course, for a quick makeup look, because they do work for that. So they are buildable, and they're going to give you a solid amount of color right away. So you probably don't even have to build them up in order to get color payoff, but you won't mess them up either. So wear test and longevity. So they wear very well on combination skin for the price point. Despite the tacky finish and all of that, the color holds on nicely. So the bronzer is going to fade a little bit, but it's okay. It's still one of my favorite products. The blush fades a little bit as well, but that's probably a good thing, which I'll get into. And the highlighter, it's always hard to tell to me if a highlighter's fading. I always think, at least on my skin, they're pretty bam all day, but it stayed visible. You can absolutely, fully set these with powder if you want, but you're going to lose a lot of that like glow from the bronzer, so on and so forth. The blush is pretty natural though. It's not sparkly, but it's not matte either. But let me move into the bronzer stick. If you followed me on social media in 2025. This is definitely my most used cream bronzer. I just kept reaching for it simply because I loved it. It's easy, it's reliable, it's foolproof, it's the right color. It has some shimmer in it, some sun-kissedness to it, and it's just foolproof on those days where I just don't have a lot of time for my makeup, okay? The first time that I used it, I twisted this thing all the way up, I dropped it. It's so creamy, it just got deformed for the longest time, but I used enough of it that it went back to its normal shape. So by the time you're seeing it now, it looks pretty good, but I used it a lot last year, so just be careful. But again, it gives you that sun-kissed look. It's not glittery, but it has that glow, like that shimmer. I think the shade is excellent. It's not orange. It's not muddy. It's not too warm. It blends out seamlessly, looks natural. I wear the heck out of it. I did 5 out of 5 stars on soft tan. The highlighter sticks, they give you that like lit from within glow, and they're just really metallic, like reflective. Like you can see in the photos, the light is literally like bouncing off them, and they have a metallic look to them. They're doing that without being a glitter highlighter, okay? So I usually apply highlights like this with my fingers. So I'll swipe some onto my face and just blend it out with the finger. I just prefer that kind of look over a brush. You can blend it out with a brush. It's not a problem with the formula. It's my personal preference of how I like to lay that down on the face. But it is going to hang on. It is going to stay put. We have 2 shades of that, golden and champagne. Very nice. And I gave those 5 out of 5 stars. And then we had the blush sticks. So these are the most boldly pigmented. And if you do happen to apply too much, it's okay. Like I said, they're going to fade just a little bit. And that's going to make them just look more natural on the skin. So you can afford to over apply, and you might want to, knowing that fact. They're somewhat buildable, but these are the ones that are really kind of like boom on the pigment right away. So you really don't need to even worry about building them up. Just dab some on and go. Again, natural finish, not matte, not shiny. But I saw some interesting comments on Reddit about these, that they look very oily, very greasy, so they're not going to work for oily skin. And that's not my experience. So you can see it in my swatches. You can see how shiny it is. And I was actually just admiring my arm after I did all of the swatches. And I'm like, yes, it does look very kind of like oily, greasy. And I tap my finger on the swatches, and it moves around, doesn't set down. But I agree with the Reddit comments in that once you blend it out on the skin with your tool of choice, it's not like that anymore. It's almost like it evaporates or your skin absorbs it. I don't know how to say it, but that goes away, and the blush doesn't end up feeling any different from the bronzer or the highlighter. But the bronzer and the highlighter don't kind of get that like greasy look to them. In the swatches, they're just different. So I don't know, but again, I have combination skin only in the T-zone. My cheeks are normal, so it's not an issue, but the person on Reddit was saying the same thing, that it just wasn't an issue. So I find that both of these blend easily, and they give you that healthy flush of color. So I gave them 5 out of 5 stars. So again, just kind of talking about skin types and shades. They worked on my fair skin. I'm able to make them all work, but the shade range is very limited, and they may not work for you. If you don't like a tacky finish, you won't like these. So they're probably best for normal and dry skin types, but you have 2 people now saying that they're okay for oily skin too, so take that for what you will. Packaging and practicality. Boy, I just can't read this one. This is the 3rd thing I recorded today, and I think I'm just done. You know, your brain is done, and that's okay. The packaging looks basic. You know, it is what it is. It's $1.25. You're not going to get fabulous packaging. It functions. It does its job. No issues with the cap or the twist-up mechanism. You can just plop these in your makeup bag. You're not going to have any issue. So there it is, you guys. I almost did not buy these because of how they looked. I judged a book by its cover. I almost missed out, and that's why you don't do that, okay? This bronzer became one of my favorite bronzers. The other items are just as dependable. And I'd say if you're in the market, you want some cream makeup, you want to save that money, this is the bargain basement option. Be Pure is a pretty good brand, I must say. They look basic, but the appeal is bold. All right. they're going to become your daily go-to. They'd be mine as well if I didn't have 50 million products to try all the time, but they'll be your go-to, okay? So if you've tried these, I want to hear your experience. I want to see them on different skin tones. What do you think about that kind of like oily finish of the blush that goes away? I want to know about all of it. All right, so short and sweet because, you know, it's only a couple products and they are what they are. But if you've been curious about these, give them a try. All right, I'll see you next time.